There are things that don't break you all at once, but they slowly wear you down without you even noticing. They don't arrive like a slap in the face. They don't knock like a major crisis. They come disguised as normal habits. One more snooze, a few more minutes scrolling, one more. I'll do it tomorrow, one more fake. Yes, just to avoid conflict. Every day you lose a little piece of yourself, and eventually you end up drained. As Marcus Aurelius once said, the soul I want you to becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. If you allow little bits of mental junk to stay every single day, sooner or later, your mind turns gray, exhausted, irritated, distracted, overwhelmed, and then you tell yourself a stupid lie. Maybe I'm just weak. No, you are not weak. You're simply living with habits that quietly drain your peace. Today, I'm not here to pump you up with motivation. I'm here to show you how to cut off 7 habits that are silently eating you alive, quietly, cleanly, effectively. Before we get into the 7 habits, remember one core Stoic principle. Epictetus taught that life itself does not make us suffer. It's our interpretation and reaction that create suffering. In simple terms, there are things within your control and things outside your control. Within your control, your choices, your judgment, your actions. Outside your control, what people think, how loud social media is, how chaotic the world becomes. And most of what drains you every day is not some giant tragedy. It's the small problems you keep allowing to stay: bad habits, weak reactions, and self-neglect. Seneca once warned, while we are postponing life speeds by, you don't need more motivation. You need to remove what's poisoning you. So let's begin. Each habit comes with one simple way to cut it out. No drama, no grand announcements, just action. And the first habit, the one that looks tiny but destroys discipline, the fastest happens within the first 5 minutes of your day. Habit hasso, snoozing and negotiating with yourself. You think you're just getting a little extra rest, but what you're really doing is training a dangerous reflex. Every time the alarm rings, you bargain with your own promises. Today it's 5 more minutes. Tomorrow it's 10. Then eventually, whenever real work appears, your brain automatically says, I'll do it later. Tomorrow is fine. There's no rush. Listen carefully. The way you start your morning becomes the way you live your entire day. If you let your impulses control you in the morning, you'll lose focus by noon, procrastinate by evening, and hate yourself by night. Then the cycle repeats. Start here. Put your phone far away from your bed. Make one rule. When the alarm rings, stand up within 10 seconds. No debate. Do one activation action, drink water, wash your face, or step into sunlight. Bottom line, win against yourself in the morning, and the rest of the day becomes easier. You've now beaten the first battle. But if the next thing you do is grab your phone and say, just a quick scroll, you fall right into the next trap. Habit #2, just 5 more minutes of mindless scrolling. This habit doesn't steal 2 hours from you immediately. It steals your ability to focus deeply. Your brain gets trained to chase constant stimulation. 1, 5-second videos. 3, line headlines, endless notifications. Then when you return to real work, reading, writing, learning, building, it suddenly feels boring, heavy, uncomfortable. You are not lazy. Your attention span has been damaged. Start here. Turn off all entertainment and social media notifications. No negotiation. Remove addictive apps from your home screen. Create fixed scrolling windows only, for example, lunch and evening. Outside those times, close the app. While working, keep your phone physically far away. Once you reclaim your time and attention, another problem appears. You now have time, but you still don't begin. Habit #3, waiting for motivation or the right mood. You say things like, I'll start seriously tomorrow. When I feel more energized, I'll begin. Sounds reasonable, but in reality, you're letting emotions become your boss. And emotions are unstable like the weather. If you wait for perfect conditions before moving, you'll barely move at all. Start here. Choose one non-negotiable daily action. 10 minutes writing, 10 minutes, exercising 1 page, reading 1 difficult task. Set a smaller standard, but stay consistent. Forget perfection. Just start the engine. Momentum will follow. Remember this. You do not need motivation to start. You need to start in order to feel motivated. Bottom line, discipline means doing it even when you don't feel like it. Have you ever done everything right and still felt emotionally exhausted? That's because another habit is quietly stealing your peace. Habit #4, over-explaining yourself. You explain your career choices, your silence, your plans, even your boundaries. You think it's politeness, but often it's fear of judgment. And when you fear judgment, you slowly become someone asking permission from the world just to live your own life. The brutal truth: people who truly respect you do not require long speeches, and people determined not to understand you will never be satisfied anyway. Start here. Practice short, clear answers. No, I can't take this on. I've chosen a different direction. I'd rather not explain further. Only explain yourself to people who are directly involved and genuinely matter. You do not owe the world a presentation. You owe yourself clarity. Bottom line: over-explaining hands your steering wheel to someone else. Now maybe you've become more disciplined, maybe your boundaries are stronger. But there's another habit that quietly destroys self-respect. Habit #5 constant comparison. Every day you watch other people's lives and secretly judge your own. You see people richer, happier, more attractive, more successful, and suddenly you feel behind. But what you're seeing is a carefully selected highlight reel. You're comparing your messy backstage to someone else's polished trailer. Of course, you'll lose that comparison. Comparison does not move you forward, it paralyzes you. Envy disguised as motivation, hopelessness disguised as realism, and worst of all, you forget where you are going because your eyes stay locked on someone else's path. Start here. Mute or unfollow anything that triggers insecurity or anxiety. Limit social media the same way you did in habit #2. Return to reality: proper sleep, meaningful work time with loved ones, one focused goal for 30 days. Don't stand in someone else's garden and complain about your own soil. Bottom line: comparison is abandoning your own life. Habit #6 pointless arguments. You respond to everything. You argue to be right. You explain to win. Comments, messages, drama, ego battles. By the end of the day, you feel exhausted and you built absolutely nothing. Understand this clearly. Not every battle deserves your energy. Some arguments exist for one reason only: to drain you. The other person is not trying to understand you. They just want a reaction. And once you enter the fight, your mind becomes chaos. Start here. Before responding, ask yourself 2 questions. Is this person acting in good faith? Will this conversation create anything useful? If the answer is no, walk away. You do not need to prove yourself. If necessary, provide one source or one answer, then close the tab and return to your life. You do not need to win every argument. You need to win your own life. Bottom line: silence at the right time is power. Habit #7 trying to please everyone. You say yes while your mind screams no. You accept extra work because you fear judgment. You stay silent because you fear conflict. You smile because you fear rejection. Every time you do this, you trade away a piece of yourself for temporary approval. Eventually, you stop knowing what you want. You only know what others expect from you. Listen carefully. People who genuinely care about you do not demand endless self-sacrifice. The ones who get angry when you set boundaries are usually not looking for connection, they're looking for convenience. Start here. Practice saying no in small situations. Thanks, but I'll pass. I can't take on more right now. I'll sit this one out. Keep it short. Keep it firm. Then follow through. You do not need everyone to like you. You need to respect yourself. Bottom line: you do not need to lose yourself in order to be loved. So now you've seen the 7 habits slowly eating away at your peace. Snoozing, mindless scrolling, waiting for motivation, over-explaining, comparing yourself, pointless arguments, pleasing everyone. They sound small, but together they quietly drain your energy, focus, and self-respect. You do not need another motivational speech. What you really need is less noise. Life becomes lighter not when you try harder, but when you stop sabotaging yourself. Choose one habit today. Just one. Cut it off quietly. No announcements, no performance, no validation needed. Then repeat tomorrow. Freedom does not arrive through applause. It grows silently inside your daily habits every time you remove something that no longer deserves your energy. If this video helped you do 3 things: 1. Subscribe to train your discipline and inner peace daily. 2. Like this video so it reaches someone else slowly wearing down inside. 3. Comment below. Which habit are you silently cutting off today?